Hey guys, it's Yishan here. I just finished up with the Remote Duel Invitational. Didn't do too well. You can see a little joke in the thumbnail. Got top 16, but there were only 16 players, so that doesn't mean much. I finished with 1 win, 2 losses and a draw, and I played Earth Machines or Machina Infinitrack or Machina Infinitrack Trains or whatever you want to call it. This deck was invented by a guy named Aerosol TCG, so shout out to him. His channel will be in the description. So I wanted to sort of just give you guys my deck profile, sort of what I played throughout the day. So if you enjoy this kind of content, this sort of wacky deck style content, and you're not subscribed already, then please do consider subscribing. It does help out a lot. I'm almost at 4,000, so there's that. So yeah, okay, let's talk about my matchups, and there will be timestamps in the description, of course. If you want to skip through, you don't care about my matchups, you just want to skip the deck, then go right ahead, go for it. Okay, so matchups. Round 1, I got a feature match against Ryan Levine. So apparently I cheated in this feature match. I got spammed afterwards. So if you wanna, it's about how Fortress and Citadel can chainlink. Fortress is mandatory. So sorry, Ryan, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't know that that's how that worked. This deck is really complicated, a lot of stuff to remember, and I didn't know that. So apologies there, but I was able to win that feature match. And then round 2, I played against Dinosaur, and I lost. I tied. And then round 3, I played against Virtual World, and I lost. And then round 4, I played against Dragon Link, and I lost. So yeah, didn't win a single dice roll, but that happens. Last round, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna win this dice roll. My opponent rolled a 4, and then I rolled a 3, and I was like, oh my god, that was against Sean Pittman. So, but all in all, it was a fun day. Really cool deck. Had a lot of fun playing the decks. Made some mistakes for sure. This deck is really complicated, not like my normal Grand Maju style deck. So yeah, definitely real complicated, but a lot of fun. And then at the end of the deck profile, I'll talk about sort of different choices, different choices you can make. Obviously what would I keep, what would I take out, and all that. And then if you guys want a combo video, or some tips and tricks video, or gameplay video, then just let me know in the comments below. I serve at the pleasure of you guys. So okay, let's get into the deck profile. That intro was already long enough. So okay, let's start with the main deck here, and then we will go card by card. Oh, there's a little Zeus trying to sneak there. Move this mouse out of the way. So we're gonna start off with 3 Infinitrack Harvesters. So this is like the Stratos of your deck. When it's summoned, it can search in Infinitrack. So all the level 4 or lower Infinitracks have this effect also, in addition to their on-summon effect, where they can level modulate, so they can target another machine on the field, and their levels, the Harvester and then whatever it targeted levels will be the level of the combined 2 monsters. So if you target level 7, they'll both be level 9. So you can make some Exceeds plays like that. And then we've got 3 Infinitrack Brutal Dozer. Some people like to call this deck Brutal Dozer Control. I actually want to suggest a name for this deck. So there's Earth Machine, Machine Infinitrack Trains, Dozer Control. My suggestion for this is we just call it MIT. Hardly there's like some wordplay there. There's a university that does, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, does a lot of engineering. We got like machines here doing engineering, doing construction sort of thing. So that's MIT. Let me know if you guys think that's a good name for the deck. But basically, this is one of the starters of the deck. Basically, it gives you that rank 5 access, that River Stormer access. So basically, all the level 5 or higher Infinitracks, they can tribute an Earth Machine to special summon themselves. And then when this one's special, you can special a level or any Infinitrack from your deck in defense. So you're usually going to summon either one of the 2 Trenchers or the Tunneler, right? And then you're locked into Earth Machines, which does kind of suck, but you can make do. So we have 2 Trencher, same sort of first effect as Dozer. You can tribute an Earth Machine to special it. This one has a graveyard effect, so you can banish it to revive an Infinitrack. So that's really nice. And then we've got 1 Tunneler. Tunneler, it's same as the other level 5s. You can tribute to special, and then it's a Pot of Avarice for Earth Machines in the graveyard. Really, really important. Helps you gain a lot of card advantage and recycle your resources. I got 1 Infinitrack Anchor Drill. This is another level 4 or lower Infinitrack. This one, when it's normal, you can special an Infinitrack from your hand. This one's really pretty good, actually. Honestly, sometimes I wish I drew more of it. So maybe it's worth playing a few extra. I don't know. You only need 1, though. The deck's already pretty tight. So we've got 3 Machina Metal Cruncher. This is one of your starters. So basically, your combo is you use a starter and search dozer, and then you got your combo there. Like I said, if you want to see a combo video, we can go into all that. We got 3 Machina Metal Cruncher. Basically, when you can normal summon this if you control no face-up cards. And then what you can do is you can just take 3 Earth Machines from your deck, reveal them. Your opponent randomly adds 1 to your hand. So, if you don't have Dozer, you can just reveal 3 Dozer and get it that way. And then for our other 2 Machinas, we have... Is it Machina or Machina? What do you guys say? I don't know. We got 1 Fortress and 1 Citadel. This is like the pretty standard rest of the Machina lineup. I've seen some people play 2 Fortress, but again, space is tight. You only really need 1. So yeah, that's, this one is really good. It extends you like crazy, helps you with decay. Citadel is like your interruption, your searchable interruption. So really important. Citadel, you can destroy a machine monster, then destroy all monsters your opponent controls with less attack. And then Fortress is just like a free extender. This deck has a lot of card advantage, and it can convert that card advantage into board presence via Machina Fortress. Helps you make Reg 9s one of the best cards in the deck. And then we have the 2 trains, the Super Bold Express Train and the Heavy Freight Train Derrick Crane. I see some people run 2, and there's a reason for that. You can open on a rank 10 play with a Derrick Crane pop, because Derrick Crane you can special itself if you normal or special Earth Machine, and then Super Bowl it's like just helps you keep up with the crazy advantage. If the other deck can't compete with you in advantage, like Super Bullet, you just it's like a free special if you only control Earth Machines, and then it's like a Skarm in the graveyard, except it adds from grave to hand during the end phase. So also level 10 can help you with your rank 10 plays if you do choose to go with that route. Okay, so that's for the Machina Infinitracks and the trains. And we have 1 Ancient Gear monster, the Ancient Gear box. This is an important one because it helps you search extra Infinitrack. So basically when this is added from grave or deck to hand, and Super Bullet can add this, they have like a little infinite loop going there. You can search a machine monster with 500 attack or 500 defense. So in this deck, that's Trencher, Tunneler, or the Anchor Drill. So those are your targets, but it basically lets you keep searching. So really cool. And then really sucks to draw though. But again, like I said, there's combos you can do if you draw this. So let me know if you guys want that combo video, tips and tricks video. And then I only ran 6 hand traps. Why? Because deck space was tight and I wanted to play the best hand trap. So in my opinion, these were just the best hand traps. 3 Droll, 3 Ash. Yeah, I mean, these are really good. I drew Droll a lot today. I drew it twice in my featured match. So I got really lucky there. And Ash is just a really nice hand trap for that. So, okay, those are the hand traps. Let's try and see about the spell cards. So we've got 3 redeployment. This is a searcher for your starter, so you can discard a card and add 2 Machina monsters with different names. Or if you discarded a Machina card, you can actually add 2 Machina cards with different names. That actually allows you to search your trap, your Machina Overdrive trap. So really good card. It does suck if it get ashed because it's a -1, but that happened to me once today. But I lived. It was okay. I was okay. And then we have 3 heavy forward. Really good. It's like tanky but better. When it's activated, it searches an Infinitrack. So it's like another starter. And then I played the 1 Called by the Grave. By the way, there's a lot of tricks with heavy forward to attach stuff, but I won't get into too much. Just want to give you guys the list. So 1 Called by the Grave. This card, I drew it 1 time too late, and 1 time I thought I had my opponent in my last round. He went Seal, I went Called by the Grave. He chained Lancia. I was like, crap, that's not good. So that happened, but that's it for the spells. I considered running a Foolish Burial, but there was just it was just not enough space, and I wanted to play cards that were proven. I hadn't tested Foolish Burial enough. And then for the traps, the best trap is Machina Overdrive. Basically, you're never going to lose a grind game with this. Actually, this deck grinds like crazy. So I would say one of its biggest weaknesses is that it just kind of it takes too long, this deck. It takes so long because people don't know what your cards do, so they have to read them, right? When you grind, sometimes you can't even kill them on the second turn, so it takes forever. And there's so much shuffling and drawing. But basically what this does is you can destroy it. You target a machine you control, special summon a Machina monster with a different name from your deck, and then destroy it from your deck or graveyard, sorry. Or I think, yeah, special summon a Machina monster from your hand or deck, sorry, excuse me. But then you can banish this from your graveyard. It's a second effect to target 3 Earth Machines that are in your grave or banish, so you can reuse those Trenchers, reuse those Tunnelers, and so then you do the whole thing over again. You keep drawing like crazy. And so, you know, this deck can take a long time. So that's one thing that sort of is good for online play, but not as good for remote duels, depending on how you look at it, because it's not great in time. And you're going to be going to time a lot unless people start, you know, really just knowing what these cards do. But yeah, so then I also played 2 Trap Trick. I actually liked this today. It was pretty helpful. You know, I just wanted to play some extra disruptions. So I was playing like Forbidden Droplet before, and I think Droplet is a really good card in this deck. But not for this event, because Droplet is really there for, you know, rogue stuff and Dragoon. And I didn't expect that much rogue stuff or Dragoon, because Droplet by itself doesn't really even beat Dragon Link if they, you know, you have to Droplet and then you have to kill them on that turn because, you know, they're going to get their tidying, their seal effect. And so, like, you know, it can be really rough. So I just decided to play Trap Trick in Paleozoic Dynamiscus. Ice Dragon's Prison is also a great choice. I just didn't have any. Honestly, it didn't make much of a difference today. Dynamiscus, every time I was able to resolve it, was very nice. And then I played 2 Gozen match. So I think Pak convinced me on this. I don't think it was a bad decision. I just never drew it. It would have been good if I'd drawn it more. I drew it once in my last run, but it just got Twin Twisted away. So there is something to be said for like playing a bunch of chainable interaction, because people are going to side like twins for your deck. So like if you could just like play a bunch of chainable stuff, maybe that would be better. I don't know. So, but Gozen match, you know, I think it's theoretically good because basically everything in this deck is Earth. And it's good against Dragon Link. It's good against most of the meta. So, yeah, that's the main deck. 40 cards. I was pretty happy with it. There are some cards I could have played in the main. Let me see. Oh, I got right here. One of the big ones is Urgent Schedule. Why did I not play this card in the main? I think against rogue decks, tier 2 decks, or locals, this is definitely a card you want to put in your deck. So good. The problem is like against Dragon Link, this card I just don't find it to be good enough. If you go first, it's only good if they have Gamma. And then if you go second, Dragon Link doesn't really care about it. Like these Dragon Link players are so good, they're just OTKing through it. So I decided not to play it, but if you're playing a local, I'd say put 3 of this in your deck for sure. So yeah, that's a card I considered, but ultimately decided against, and I didn't miss it all day, really. Okay, let's go extra deck now. So extra deck, we've got 3 Infinitrack Goliath. An important one because it's a link one that you can summon a bunch of times a turn. It just takes any non-link Infinitrack monster. What's nice about it is also it can attach itself to material if it's sent to the grave, to a Machine Xyz, so that's helpful for keeping a lot of advantage and that sort of thing. 1 Ancient Gear Ballista. This, when it's summoned, can search the box, do your combos. It also has a nice effect to make stuff 0, but again, we can go over that in the tips and tricks combo video. 1 Fleet for Genius. You don't have to play this. Like, this could be Link Karibo, this could be something else for the dinosaur matchup, but it came up once today. It was you know, it was sort of useful, but nothing too crazy. 1 Double-Headed Anger Knuckler. This one lets you summon back your Super Bullet Express Train, which is super important to keep that value engine going. This is the link you're ending on a lot of the time, to try to sort of keep yourself alive and keep that advantage train going. And then for our rank 10s, we've got the Gustav Max, Burn 2K, Dora for the, you know, help itself, and it's good with, you know, quick effect detach, you can use Dare Crane. And then the Leeb, which I didn't summon, but is a good card for OTKing. And then the 1 River Stormer, the Xyz you summon the most in this deck, basically as part of your combo, you make this guy. This guy can search any Earth machine, which usually gets your Super Bullet. So really good. And then if you have a Goliath on your field, you tribute the Goliath, special this back, Goliath attaches itself, you can activate this again to search another card, so that's really good. 1 Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger. As I've been getting better with this deck, I've been using this card a lot more. What's really nice is it helps you game your opponent, because all the Infinitrack Xyzes, they can special summon themselves back by tributing a Link, but then you don't have a good play because you can't attack with it. So what you can do is you can just Gaia Dragon on top and then attack. So that actually came up quite a few times, so I'm glad I included that. Then we've got 1 Gear Suit, came up once, just good in general. 1 Phantom Fortress, Enter Blathnir, came up a few times. And then 1 Infinitrack Earth Slicer came up. So actually a lot of the extra deck came up today. I was pretty happy. Just didn't get the burned OTK guy, but sometimes that happens. But these are so good that you sort of have to play them. So that's that. Oh, and then I missed the last card, which is a Zeus. Did come up. You know, you can actually hard make this with a level 10 and an Infinitrack Harvester. You just be like, okay, Harvester target level 10. They're both level 12. Slap a Zeus. Main phase Zeus. People don't usually expect that, so something to keep track of. But yeah, okay, so that was the extra deck. Let's go side deck now. So I just played 3 Gamma and a Driver. I think this would have been a really good hand trap. I just never drew it. I sided in going second, just never drew it. But I think it would have been good if I had drawn it. So there's that. I played 3 Lancia, which was sort of like subpar-ish all day. It's really good against Dinosaur, except, and of course when I played against Dinosaur I didn't draw it. Honestly, there was times where I sided this in where I wish I sided in Dark Ruler no more, like in my feature match. I sided in Lancia, which I think would have been better just to side in Dark Ruler. You can beat 1 interruption, 2 is pretty difficult, 3 is basically impossible. There was definitely times I should have sided in Dark Ruler. Against my Virtual World matchup, I sided in Lancia instead of this. Like, Lancia is pretty good, but like the Virtual World boards, if you just Dark Ruler, you're basically only getting hit by Chuche. So that's usually doable. And then I played 3 Twin and 1 Red Reboot. Didn't really play against any back row decks, but I know there were some stun players there. I got twinned, so I guess, you know, I put in my side deck. It's good. It's easy to pay cost with this deck, so that's fine. And then 1 goes in match. I only played 2 in the main, so if I went first, I would just side this in. Like, I wonder if that's like a better chainable trap that you can play with Trap Trick that's good against the meta. Maybe it's just Ice Dragon's Prison's the way to go. You know, you play the Dynamiscus and the Ice Dragon's Prison, so a bunch of everything is like chainable. You can play more Trap Tricks. I don't know, but you know, I just sort of wish I drew it more, but losing a lot of dice rolls, you don't get that much chance to side it in because you're not going first too often. But yeah. So that is the deck, guys. There are a few cards I just want to talk about here. So again, I talked about the urgent schedules. Like I said, if you're playing in a more roguish, put 3 of these in. Same with the, if you have the droplets, you're playing more roguish, put these in. Shout out to Darren and Bailey for getting me these cards. And the last card I want to talk about, I cut Gamma for a Gizmek Uka. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Gizmek Uka is actually real, you know, like it's really good in the Dragon Link matchup. So like there's like a trick where you can Gizmek Uka summon the Bear Statue of the Heavens. This, you know, it's certainly interesting. I'm not sure exactly like how this is, but basically like it's an Earth machine, so you can actually search it. It's a searchable interruption, which this deck doesn't have. If Infernable was really popular, like I'd probably play this because like this can summon the Earth Barrier statue from a deck, like when they go for a desk bot play. But I just felt like there was gonna be too much Dragon Link, and I feel like Gamma would just be a more solid option. But I think this card is actually really strong. I think it has a lot of potential. I just didn't think it would be good for this event, but it is something very cool. So I think that's it basically. That's the main deck. So I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. It was a bit of a long one. Yeah, let me know what you guys want to see about this deck. I've got content if you guys want to see it, so let me know. You know, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video.